Then I'm gonna show you A13. This is, what is this at the top?
This is the window, it's like the unit.
Is that from the back of the building?
And from the lake house, so.
From the lake side.
From the lake side, yeah.
Okay. Let me just mark that correctly. A13. And then I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna call A14. And I'm gonna show the board what we're looking at. You can tell the board what that is.
This is the entrance. When you turn right, there's a small little sink.
The inside of that
yeah.
unit under the garage? Sure. How many board is this what it look like?
I just put the new tiles, new sink and new tiles in the bathroom, that's all I did.
Okay, so you had a
And then
bathroom?
and yes, no, and when you there.
Okay, everything is there.
Yeah.
All the utilities.
Running water, yes, yeah.
And when you bought
Bathroom
it,
tiles like that, everything.
and when you bought it, what do you,
The power, they get the set power. Yes.
okay, and there's a toilet in there as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything is working.
Okay.
Here.
And then I'm gonna show you A1, I will call this A15. What is that a picture of?
That's inside the garage, I just use it as a storage.
Okay, do you park the car in the garage?
No, I don't use my car, so,
Okay, so you use that for storage?
yeah,
Okay.
as you can tell.
And, the unit, the lower unit, at this time, how do you use it? Do you use it at all?
Yeah, I used to use it all the time, I just,
Okay,
it just become, I was a little shocked, you know, how it was. As the point, was a mistake.
so when you bought it, you thought they could be able to use it?
Yeah, so, my agent, and I think it might be on the deal as well, bathrooms, right, and the amount of the rooms equal, including that unit. So,
Okay.
Three bathrooms in the house, in the studio, and the amount of the room, if I'm not sure, feet or like the structure in house from the room equal to the.
Okay, so, but before you bought it, you didn't check with the town to see if it was a permitted use there on that unit?
No, I was only told by agent, you know, people live there and. I was just, if I knew and like I said, I would bring it to any other attention, just not. I'm a very some family guy, trying to use it as a second baby on the way and trying to use it for my people to stay on with it. I'm simple. If I knew something I do come up, I think everybody can use it on accessible and it doesn't get out. So I'm trying to just for person. I'm not the developer or somebody else.
Okay, so did you have an opportunity to discuss this issue with any of your neighbors? With respect to its prior use?
Like, what do you mean by that?
Well, I have James Betts here today. He's one of your neighbors. He's gonna testify. Did you have an opportunity to speak to him about this and the use of the property going back?
So when I'm trying to like find out, like legalize, I guess, you know, one of the idea there was, there was a couple options how we can do it. And one of the thing was like, if you know somebody who lived there like before, which, I'm trying to find people around, like I'll go to our neighbor, you know, there was like 37 years old gentleman. I asked like multiple people and, I asked, Mr. Jim Jr. and he said that his father not live here anymore, but he used to live here. And he asked him and he get back to me after whatever certain time and I said, let's give it a try. I try and do this online with all due respect. Thank you, Mr. Jim, just to come in and.
So with that said, I would like to have Mr. Betts sworn in so we can have Mr. Betts come up.
Yeah.
Can you come on up, Mr. Betts? And you could just sit right here. Mr. Betts, you come up.
It's in here, I'm sure you should go around.
Mr. Betts, raise your right hand if you would. You swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? And your first name, sir?
James.
James? And James, did you live next to this, in the vicinity of this property at some time?
It's a summer home,
And how close was your summer home to this?
2 lots away.
Yeah, you can sit down. Okay. So, Mr. Betts, how old are you?
88.
88? When did you purchase, or when did you start going to that area of the lake over there on Randolph Avenue? Do you remember what year that was?
Let's see, I graduated high school in 56. My parents purchased that it was a wooded lot at the time in 53.
Okay,
And we cleared the land and excavated the basement and footings, for construction.
okay, and you built a house there?
Yes,
All right, and eventually, did you guys start going to that house during the summer months?
absolutely, yes.
Okay, so you started actually going there in 1953
For construction purposes.
for construction purposes? And when you were there after between 1953 and 1959, did you ever take notice of anything happening over at 108 Mr. Wyszynski's property? In terms of people, were there people there?
There were people there in and out of that particular garage.
Okay,
I call it garage, it's,
so when you say in and out of that particular garage, in and out of the garage on the street level, or in and out of the garage below, in the room below?
the room below. It had a door and a window.
Okay,
You could see it was constructed for the purpose of somebody going in there.
okay, and this is the 1950s.
Yes,
And during that same time frame, how often were you up at the lake? You said initially it was for construction, so were you there just in the summers?
yes, well, we were up there also, we could, during the construction stage, up until it actually got to freezing, so well into the fall and early spring too.
Okay, so you'd be back in the early spring.
Right,
Got it. And when was the construction done? Do you recall when it was done?
61.
Okay, so throughout that time frame, when you would go up there, where did you stay? When you were you staying overnight? Let me ask you that question.
No,
Okay,
we would return to our house in West Orange,
okay, so you commute back and forth
Right.
between there and West Orange?
right?
Okay, and while you were up at the property working on it, and I asked you this question, you saw people in and out of that unit underneath the garage, is that correct?
Yes,
Now, do you know if people were actually sleeping in the unit or they were just using the unit? Do you know what they were doing there?
I cannot say whether they were sleeping there or not. It's, I mean, it's
Okay, but you saw people in and out of there?
right.
Okay, and with respect to that property, was there a main house down on the lake?
Yes, there is a regular house. Again, it's a summer type home. I don't think people were living in there year round either. It was, for the lake activities, swimming and boating and fishing.
All right, but are you sure that they weren't living there year round? You think it was just a summer home?
I think it was a summer home.
Okay, and during that time frame, though, how many times would you say, if you can recall, that you saw people in and out of that lower unit?
Oh, well, I was working there. I was digging the footings and whatever. I would take frequent breaks and you would see activity over there, so you kind of glance with your eyes was switch back and forth to see what's going on.
Okay, were you friendly with the neighbors there?
I mean, if it's a ball or something that came over, you'd cooperate, that he would retrieve this stuff. But I mean, I didn't really go over there, it's beers or nothing.
Okay, right. So this is just what you observed during that time frame, that there was activity in and out of that
Right,
lower part of the garage.
right.
And did you ever go into the garage?
No,
Okay, so you never actually saw inside the lower unit in the garage?
I never went over there. No.
Okay, all right. That's all I have for this gentleman. If anybody has any questions,
I do.
go ahead.
Just in terms of clarifying.
Yes.
What the ask is. The ask is for a multifamily approval in a single family R1 area?
No, not at all. I mean, what we're asking for is just to pre-certify this pre-existing use. Mr.
Well,
Wyszynski just wants.
Pre-existing use for what? I mean,
Well,
are the people coming out of the garage family members of the people here. Because we all have family and you try to make room for them wherever you can, under a tree or,
Yes,
but if they were two independent entities not talking to each other, like two apartments in Montclair, that would seem multifamily. But if they're, do you know if they were were they paying rent to somebody?
are you asking Mr. Beck?
Yeah, so it's conceivable that they were simply family members
Well-
spread out at different points in time.
Yes, so, and he's not asking to have this classified as a two-family. When he's asking to be able to just use it. He bought the place,
Yeah.
and when he bought it, they advertised it as a 3-bathroom, all these bedrooms. And that was part of the sales pitch when he bought it. He just wants to use it for his family. He doesn't want to do anything with it. Yeah, so
That helps. No, that helps.
So he's not Airbnb-ing it, or he's not renting it out. It's strictly for his own family.
Yeah.
he just wants to,
Okay.
Okay, yeah, no,
Comment, so.
that helps.
right, his parents visit.
Yeah, well, it's his family, so he's
Yeah.
not renting it out to,
No,
no.
Fine.
Okay, well, that's just,
Yeah.
it's pre-existing, I mean, obviously, the testimony we got that it was there, it
Yeah.
predates zoning, so.
Andy, you had a question?
Yeah, has there been any type of inspection documents from the fire marshal, from plumbing, electrical, any documentation that, from the borough at all?
We did a open public records request and I didn't see anything in there. So over the years, it's interesting because Mr. Betts Jr., Jim Betts Jr. could testify that back in the 70s, he was actually in the unit, right? And there was, well, let me have him testify. Yeah, let's swear him in and he could tell you back then, what the condition of the unit was, so.
Please raise your right hand. You swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And just state your full name, please.
James Bett Jr.,
Is it PET?
Beette.
And, did you live in the vicinity of this property yourself?
Well, I spent all my summers up there. It was my father built the house. My grandparents lived up there, and then I would spend my summers, when I got out of school, grammar school and everything up there for the summer.
And can we give some years of what that was?
Oh, God, that would be, I would say probably like 1976 through probably 1990.
So, when you were up at the lake, did you have an opportunity to actually go over and visit with those neighbors
Yes,
at 108?
there was 2 boys that were there, that lived there full time, that were the same age as me. It's so long ago, I don't remember. I think their last name was Robinson, and the boy's name that I was friends with was Jamie.
Okay, and did you have an opportunity to actually go into their home?
The main house?
Yes, yeah, and did you have an opportunity to go into this unit that we're
Yes.
referring to here?
Yes,
And did you ever have an opportunity to go into the lower level?
yes.
Now, at that time, what is your recollection of the condition of that lower level? If you could explain to the board, what did it look like in the 1970s?
Pretty much the way, it still looks the same. You'd go in, there was like, it wasn't really a kitchen, it was a kitchen sink and a counter. There was one big room, and then there was a small bathroom that had a toilet and a shower in it.
Okay. And this is, you say mid 1970s, 1976, 77,
Yeah,
somewhere
yeah.
in that.
Mid to late 70s, I spent most of my time hanging out with them. They were like my summer friends.
Okay. And then over the course of those years, were there improvements? Did you notice any improvements made to that unit while you were there over the summers visiting? Or do you have any recollection of that?
It always looked the same to me.
Okay. All right,
The
good.
parents would, they didn't want us in the main house, so that was like, there was a bathroom up there and a sink, and that's kind of like where they sent us, like go swimming, get wet, and then
Go hang out.
that's, when I used to, I stayed with my grandmother, but of course I wanted to hang out with my friends, but that's where we would have to sleep, is in that little apartment.
Okay. So you guys slept there you slept there with your friends?
When I was younger.
Yeah, when you were younger, so I mean, yeah, okay, that's all right, thank you, appreciate that. So just getting back to the point, I mean, he just wants to kind of use it in that same fashion. And he did come and, spoke to Bill about it, Mr. Donegan about it, and he's just trying to legitimize it because after all these years,
Let's be careful. That
Yes.
This is, you're saying that this is essentially a one-bedroom unit.
it's a little studio, right?
What?
So you just come and just.
So one room, Bill.
It's one room.
No bedroom.
There's no bedroom, that's just one.
Just smaller room. I put the map with like this.
Yeah.
Inches.
Yeah, here's,
Yeah, I
Okay, yeah.
I think, I thought there was something similar like one bedroom, but because you were talking about 3 total bedrooms, you were told there's 2 in the main. Right?
Yes.
2 bedrooms in the main.
Yeah, the whole room equal and the bathroom into the, but I think there was also in the deed, something that gotta be brought up.
So if we consider the main house as having 2 bedrooms, this could be arguably a 1-bedroom and would be
Was
used.
including as a room because it's not the bedroom, it's just a studio.
It's, yeah, but it's one bed, be classified as a 1-bedroom. Strictly for use by your family members
Yes,
and guests,
yes, which I already did it and now it's not thinking of it. So
not a rental,
He put that in the deed, Chris?
Nothing.
Did he deed that? He will?
Yeah.
Okay.
no rental.
there you go.
I have
Done.
one more thing. Mr. Wisniewski, would you have a problem if we required an inspection by the fire marshal and or, plumbing and electrical to make sure, before we allow somebody to sleep in there, that it's a safe and it's approved by the fire marshal that it meets, I'd hate to authorize something like this and then, something happens where somebody passes away.
Of course, I mean,
Would you have a problem?
no, I have no problem at all. I mean,
I think it would be more like a courtesy inspection because obviously we don't know what the plumbing is, you don't know what the electrical.
Well, that's
Just come in and just
that's
make
just
sure you-
it. We don't know, and I'll be honest with you, I'd be reluctant to vote yes without at least the fire marshal inspecting,
thank
just
you.
for safety.
Fair.
On that point, since it is a garage and you say you're not parking your car, but if we fast forward 50 years and the property goes to someone else and they park their car on it and you have people sleeping underneath. Just the weight and things like that, since it is a garage, primarily, right?
Well, he hasn't used it as a garage. He used it for storage. I mean, it is a garage. He hasn't parked, he hasn't parked a car in it.
If you have garage doors. and
Yeah, no, it's a
park
garage,
car in it,
clearly. You could.
So the question is, if somebody says, oh, I think I'll just put my car in there. And somebody's asleep,
Are you talking about an engineering?
well, just from a stability standpoint.
It's an engineering issue you're bringing up now.
Well,
I mean, it's been there since the 50s. I mean, I'm sure over the years, somebody's parked cars in there. It's still standing. It still looks pretty much like it did back then. So structurally, it looks all right to me, but.
Maybe we should have the
I mean,
electrical
I'm
plumbing.
inclined,
Yeah.
to move forward. I just want to make sure that it's safe, like your point, it's safe for people and you don't have to worry, right?
Oh, if you want it safe, I mean, and we talked about that. We talked about him even potentially not using that garage for purposes of parking a car,
I
right?
don't see any need.
Well, unless he wants to put that in the deed. I don't know.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna require him to do whole engineering work
Yeah,
up,
yeah, no.
and then, I mean, then he might as well park a car there. But if you're gonna say, you know what, if you're not gonna park a car in there, we're not gonna require an engineer to come in
Right.
and do stress testing on the studs. I mean,
But like he does say, like he sells the property, the next guy wants to park. What I mean,
but we could say, I don't think he'd have a problem with that, just
Yeah.
saying it's for purposes of
Storage.
storage, yeah, not to park a
I thought it was
car.
Structure for storage.
Yeah,
I don't know if it makes a difference, but my friend Chip, who's owned the house before him, his wife used to park her car in there, so I mean, I don't know, that's probably not, I'm not an engineer, I can't say.
No, but when you have
But there
people
has been
sleeping-
cars parked in there.
Yeah, well, when you have sleeping
Yeah, it's-
people underneath
well,
versus just
No,
storage.
I understand completely,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to argue.
Yeah, no.
Are we setting a precedent by requiring these inspections to allow an approval to go forward?
I don't think it's setting a precedent, but we have no proof that there's any construction permitting, electrical, plumbing, any of
It
that.
predates
for
yours.
this,
yeah.
At all,
Yeah.
period. So I think it's appropriate to ask that.
We don't.
We talked about 3 things. One, they talked about only for family use, not
Yes.
independent rental or guests. And they talked about getting the permitting, the subcode permitting.
Just
and-
fire marshal at the minimum.
you know. and,
So it doesn't mean that they didn't have to bring it up to code
No,
as a
just,
result of these inspections.
Just to make
They
sure
need the
what's there now is, it will, is,
Doesn't have to
you
meet
know, obviously outlets can't be hanging out of the wall and all, I mean, that's to be.
Yeah.
And the third
that,
thing we
it's got
talked
2
about,
points of egress.
we talked about no parking on the upper level without an engineering review, otherwise it's storage only. We talked about those three things, and
Good.
we're so inclined. He's asking for a certification of pre-existing non-conforming use only for family members and guests, not for independent rental.
Well, we don't get too many witnesses anymore that can actually
I was telling.
say that they were there, so I'm gonna.
Yeah,
I'll have to go along with the Yeah, they're getting less and less.
Yeah,
Sure.
that was worth arguing.
So,
Yeah.
all right, so I guess at this point, I'll open this application to the public. Does anybody wish to comment on this application? Seeing none, I'll bring it back to the board for a motion.
I'd like to make the motion that, to move forward with it, my only requirement is that, there be a fire marshal's inspection.
I think.
My only,
You know,
that is the only thing I would ask, and that it not be used as a rental,
Family use only.
family
So
use only.
we'd have a deed restriction to
Yes,
say
Deed restriction.
family or the guests kind of thing, and that there be no parking in the upper level unless there's an engineering assessment of that storage only area.
James, would you want that?
well, you know, if it's storage only, and that's the intent, why not
That's fine.
just say storage only? I mean, there's no, until you know you can park cars there.
That's what I'm saying, storage only unless you get an engineering report that says it's okay.
That's fine.
That's fine.
Okay.
Well,
That would-
fine.
Or take the people out and you could put.
One or the other, right?
Yeah, one or the other, but not both.
If people downstairs.
Okay, so we have a motion with those three items. Go ahead, Bill.
One question. In the future, if they did want to Airbnb it, is this, no rental meaning?
No rental, it's
No
bad.
rental.
He's willing to,
Okay, I just wanted to
Yeah.
clarify.
That's a
that
use
because-
variance. No.
so, all right, we have a motion. Do we have a second? We have a second.
Mr. Sherrillo,
Yes.
Mr. Diamond,
Yes.
Mr. Cadman,
Yes.
Ms. Crop. Yes. Mr. Maslowski.
Yes.
Mr. Rossi.
Yes.
Chairman Ray.
Yeah.
Mr. Tappan.
Yes.
Okay,
Well, thank you so much.
Very good.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
good luck.
Thanks, James. Thanks, guys, for coming.
Thanks for coming.
Once you go, in another application, we'll talk tomorrow.
Next application is Salvatore Cuccinella, 151 Monroe Trail. Applicant is seeking to permit the construction of a new single-family home.
Yeah, move there.
Thank you. Thank you.
With my denied statement.
I'm sorry.
You want
I should have left that home.
You want the standard one? Or
I want the big one, man. You're gonna hear it.
I'm sorry.
Good evening, board
Janelle.
members. Yes, we are here for, it's an application for a new construction on a vacant lot. And,
Cuccinella,
we
here
have
we
Mr. Glassen here to testify and Mr. Cuccinello to testify. So if we could have both gentlemen sworn in, that would be.
You think you're okay? You swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
And your full name?
Salvatore Cuccinella.
And you're a property owner?
Yes.
And then you check.
James Glassman.
Mr. Glassen, you're a licensed engineer in the state of New Jersey, and you've testified many times before this board. And the license is still some.
Yes.
So Mr. Glassen, did you have an opportunity to prepare plans, a site plan for this particular lot for the purposes of the construction project you're presenting to the board tonight?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and the plans that you prepared, are they there up on the easel?
Yes, and I just want to make sure everybody has the latest set. I did do a revision to the plan, but the original plan was dated 12/12/25 with a revision date of 4/29. From the set, just so let's make sure. Yeah.
And we'll mark the plan 41 if it was mine.
This is a colorized version of my sheet 205, or going to show 206, and they'll show also a colorized version of my sheet. I'll mark this A1.
Yes, please.
Let me just give you a brief overview. This is the existing conditions plan. It shows on a lot 24th lot, 30216 for 150 on the Monroe Trail. We're a corner lot. We have frontage on Monroe of 260 feet and a dog leg to the left. We have frontage on Four Place of 98 feet. We're in the R1 zone. We're completely compliant with all the R1 zone requirements. With 15,000 square feet, we have 20,857. We meet the lot width. We are slightly deficient in the lot depth, and that's the one before the board. We require 100 feet. We actually have 98.53 feet, so we're just slightly deficient in depth. Relatively flat property, partially wooded. I have a number of trees shown on this plan that we're going to remove 20 trees because you're going to see from my proposed plan, I'm going to show you, we're going to locate the house in this area. This is the cleared area a lot, but it doesn't provide an optimum site triangle or site distance for the driveway. I'll show you that in a moment. But the property has public sewer and water on Monroe. It has a storm drain that picks up storm drainage from the road and actually crosses through the property. And one of the comments from the engineering review was that we put that storm drain in an easement. Surveyor will be doing. There is another storm drain on this side. Both of these storm drains dump out to the behind us, adjacent to the parking area for condominium units that are behind this property. Around us are all R1 zone properties. This is actually a very large lot in the area, 3,857. The lot next to it is 6,500 square feet. What we're looking to do, and this is a larger version if you look at your sheet 3. It's just a 10 scale version, so it looks very big, but it's just basically blowing it up. And I'll mark this A2.
Yes, please.
We are looking to construct a 2-story, 4-bedroom dwelling. And you can see, like I said, this is the area that's cleared. We're kind of pushing it over into the treat area because our sight line from this driveway, we're kind of restricted by this house here because there's a curve in the road on Monroe. So when I went out and looked at it, I was trying to figure out how am I going to get this driveway in. I wanted to keep it away from this intersection, but I also wanted to maximize the sight line here. Once cars park in this driveway, provided a sight line to the left of 185 feet, provided a sight line on the right more than greater than 200, but this was the optimum location to increase the sight line and we keep all the trees and everything cleared in this area. We do have replacement trees proposed here in this area around that drain, but that's out of the actual site driveway. Because once cars park in this parking area, really located where we did. The house is located within the required setbacks. We came up with a 28.5 foot front setback, taking the adverse setbacks in the area. We have the house set at 35. It's a double front lot. Since we're on tour, we have a 40-foot requirement for this side. We have a setback of 47. This is considered a rear. Rear is 20 feet. We're at 35.8. And this is considered a side setback. We're at 83.3, where 15 is required. The house we're proposing is 50 foot wide by 28 foot deep. It's on a slab. The footprint of the house is 1,400 square feet. It's only 6.71%, where your ordinance allows 15%. We have a 20-foot wide driveway with a turnaround, so you're not backing out into the road. Garage, front entry garage on the left, small walkway to the front door, small porch on the front, 4 by 24. And then in the rear, we have a deck, 10 by 16 deck with stairs to grade. We have these trees that I talked about before that are planted along the outskirts of the property and some of the trees on both sides of this pipe that runs through the property. That area was cleared when they brought this pipe through. They cleared a large section of the property. Our lot coverage is only 13.3, where 25 is allowed. Really, that's it. Our deficiency is this depth being 98.3 or 100 feet of the requirements. That's really the only condition. Complying with all of our setback requirements, our house requirements, our coverage requirements. We do have public sewer and water. We have a sewer connection and a water connection from the lines in Monroe. And we have underground infiltration system that we're proposing based on a 3-inch storm to infiltrate the entire roof area of the house. So shouldn't be any drainage considerations. We're really self-contained also in that most of the drainage does run towards the back, towards this ditch that's in the back. So.
I mean, at this time, there is a moratorium on water hookups. So, I mean, I don't know if you have an alternate for a well if needed, so. But right now, there's no public water hookups. So just see it.
Yeah, well, we have to if he does.
Yeah, move ahead. So. All right.
That really is a synopsis of what we have going on. We're trying to maintain the tree line on the back, but again, like I said, this is the optimum area for it because of our sight line.
Any questions of the engineer?
I know you had said that that was the optimum placement of the driveway. When I looked at the property, I thought the house was logically set, but I still couldn't get in my head why that driveway even there is optimal compared to the side road. It seems like even the French letter, it indicates that it's going to be challenging and,
Well,
well,
we're not very much under your site distance requirement. We're at hundred and 83 feet. Really, you're about 200 foot is your normal site.
yeah.
So we're very close
But
to.
I was standing there.
Right.
And the traffic was whizzing by, and I had thought, just. If I had to get hit by a car, I would think getting hit at 15 miles an hour to a stop sign. Because I believe there's a stop sign on the right-hand side.
Right.
Versus full force making a left during a high traffic area. And again, you may have all the mathematical calculations, but I kind of just stood there and thinking, man, this is
Well,
gonna
the
be
one thing I will
tough.
say, when you stood there, all these trees are still here, so you could not see the car coming around that side. So.
That's a speedway. I mean, that's not, they can't do anything about that.
I know,
People fly on that
but
road.
you have a slower road
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah, it's not really, I can't really get the driveway away from this intersection, so it's not really, and it's down gradients because the property drops into the rear, so it's really not an optimal. I can't put it up here close to the intersection, so it really isn't optimal because I have to push it to the back and then it's downhill of the house. So it's kind of an oddball place to come into this house. This house is actually a higher roadway in the front. If you went out there, you can see the back drops off. So the back has some of the rolling hills. You can see the topography lines here in the back dropping off. You don't want to have a driveway right here near this intersection because somebody's going to turn into you in the driveway. So the only place you can put the driveway would be back here, which is at a much lower elevation.
I mean, there's a lot, I mean, they're giving you 180 feet one way and 300 plus the
Yeah.
other way. I mean, that's way more than most people have in Opakon, to be
And that
honest.
really is based on these people parking their cars here. If their cars are parked even further into their spots, you see further. But I mean, I did the worst case scenario. I cut it off right by the end of the driveway.
Okay, any other questions of the engineer
It
or
is
the
a-
attorney?
It is a straight forward application. Mr. Glassen has addressed all the items in the technical review letter. I would just open it up. If there are questions of either Mr. Glassen or Mr. Cuccinella, I think the application is straightforward that
I mean, we don't get many that only require, they're only short by a foot and a half they comply in every other way, so
It's rare to have
Half around here.
I mean,
maybe I'll change my stamp. All right, at this point, at this time, I'd like to open the meeting to the public. Does anybody from the public wish to comment on this application? Seeing none, I'll bring it back to the board for a motion.
Make a motion to approve the application, what's the question?
Second.
Mr. Mr. Thriller,
Yes.
Mr. Diamond,
Yes.
Mr. Cadmick,
Yes.
Ms. Crock. Yeah. Mr. Maslowski,
Yes.
Mr. Rossi,
Yes.
Chairman Ray,
Yes.
Mr. Tappan.
Yes.
Don, you want these back? I
Thank
know
you.
they're expensive. So tomorrow, if you wanna come in, tomorrow you come in, you can have as many of them back.
Thank you.
All right, have a good night.
You too.
Mr. Chairman, the next two applications are for, Ohio, Studo, 52 West Riverside, and 54 West Riverside. I had done some work, for this, an applicant, in an unrelated matter, in Newton with an LLC interest. Therefore, I've asked, Mr. Malabella to stand and handle these for me because I thought it might be an appearance, whatever.
We don't want that.
We don't want any whatevers.
Absolutely.
I'll stay for the final one, but I figured he's here tonight and doesn't want to go home anyway, so.
Appreciate that.
That's what you guys do. You help each other out, right?
52 West Riverside.
Okay, Mr. Colabella, I guess.
Good evening, my name is Todd Koenig, the architect for the project. I've testified before this board before.
Mr. Connick, can you say your sworn?
Yes, sure.
Yes, so, you state your name for the record, too.
Todd Koenig,
Okay, you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I do.
Okay, and you were just about to say, you testified before many times and.
Not many times, but
Yeah.
He's been here before.
I've seen your plans actually, many times, so, yeah, so, but you've, from before other boards,
many boards.
and you're a licensed architect.
I am, my license is in good standing.
Okay, good. and you had an opportunity to prepare plans to get particular lot.
Yes. We'll start with the 52, if that's all right. It's the boathouse. You know, the plans in front of you. This is an existing boathouse. This size lot. And, what we're doing really is rehabilitating the boathouse. It's working it right now. We are expanding the footprint slightly in the rear by about 4 feet. 4 linear feet, that's about 70 square feet. And the biggest change we're making to the boathouse is that we're taking off the peak roof and putting on a flat roof. In so doing, we're not raising the height of the building, but we are increasing the space inside, which is a little bit less than ideal.
So if you could just identify the plan you're looking at, I'd like to mark
Yes,
that
sure.
as an exhibit.
I'm looking at the drawing A1 and A2.
And where's A1? Could you identify?
A1 is site plan floor plans.
And A2?
A2 is the elevations. They're both dated April 6th, 2026. This zone, the R1 zone, requires 15,000 square feet for a lot. We've got about a quarter of that. So when I say it's extremely undersized, I'm not kidding. It's also very
Maybe
narrow.
20%.
About a quarter. So needless to say, there are numerous variances, some of which, most of which are existing. As I said, it's about the quarter of the required area, and it's also very narrow. At its widest, it's 25 feet wide. Long and skinny. Only about 1/5 of the required width for the zone. And so it's got all kinds of problems with yards, particularly side yards. And the house itself is just a 1-bedroom house, which is what it's been. And we're just rehabilitating it. According to the area of record, the water line is sometimes a little difficult to tell exactly what the area is. It's 3,983 square feet. And that's disputable within a few feet one way or another. So we're asking for a variance on the footprint coverage of the building of 1.96%. In real terms, due to the size of the lot, that's only 78 square feet. So it's a small overage, but it is an overage. So that's why we're here. The coverage overage, we actually reduced that from what it was before by removing certain concrete slabs and decks, but it still remains to be 617 square feet over the maximum. I added, at the request of the engineer, I added certain property lines to the plan. It should be complete now, I hope. The existing building layout is essentially the same as the proposed building layout. Again, we're just rehabilitating it.
Just ask the question, is it on the same footprint, same exact footprint?
Not exact. It is on the same footprint. We are doing that 4-foot addition in the back.
Okay.
Other changes we've made is that the entry door has been shifted. It was on the side, was shifted slightly towards the water to allow the entrance to the building to not be in the bedroom. So that also created a shift in the staircase, but the exterior stairs down to the water. Currently, stormwater runoff is, again, it's a pitched roof running the length of the house, and the stormwater runs to gutters on either side and down to the ground. We're gonna, with the flat roof, we're gonna have a slight pitch to it so that it drains to the northeast side, which is the inboard side of the lot, and then we'll do the leaders and down onto the ground. The ground pitches severely downhill to the lake, as most of the properties in this area do. That's pretty much the project.
When you say it pitches to the northeast side, like the uphill side,
No, to the right side as you're looking at the plan,
to the right side. Well, I'm just trying to figure out like where's the stormwater discharging?
it's gonna be just charged
Over the lake.
Leaders in front, by the lake, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if any other members were here. Well, this particular property was a lengthy application prior to this, and this is pretty much what we wanted to see, you know, as far as, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, he's making something that's there, just nice, that's all. So, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, there's not much you can do with it.
He's in a very difficult situation.
I appreciate your appreciation of that.
Yeah.
I mean, do any of the board members have any questions for the? That's it, I mean, listen, I know every dimension of this property from years of going back
I've
and
seen
forth.
some of them, yeah.
So the flat roof, will that be, will people be able to go on that?
No.
No.
No, it's not a deck.
Is there a portion of the roof that is actually going over the property lines? I know that the building is actually on the property line.
At the rear of the
Back
building, the soffit may overhang on that right now. That, if it does, that will be alleviated. Because we're not gonna have that, not gonna have
That's
that.
point, so that would have to be a condition, that we don't have anything overhanging the neighboring property. And if you have the, I guess the other issue is, if it's on the property line, do you have permission from the neighboring property owner to go on the property to do the construction? Have you worked out some kind of an arrangement?
We have not, we certainly need to.
Okay,
No, on the other side.
I mean, you need to do that to paint the building.
yeah, well, that's the point. I mean, obviously it'll be a problem if the neighbor didn't like it or said work hard, you know, really.
I can't speak to that, perhaps, the property line, but.
Did you wanna say something about that? Because I could have this one anyway.
Yeah,
What is your name?
Mike, we are Judah.
Mike, okay, and we are Judo?
Judah,
Yes, and your property owner?
yes.
Okay, and did you say the right name? Just swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Okay, and you just wanted to comment about that whole idea of the and working with the neighbor to get that done?
Well, I've been there 3 years, because I don't go on 54, but I know most of the neighbors. And so far, I have no problem with the neighbor on my left or the neighbor on my right.
Okay.
And I always talk to them, especially to the young lady, which I forgot her name. Sorry.
We're going well.
Feel sorry for you.
Yeah, well, yeah, so I've been talking to her, she said no problem.
Okay,
We actually, we offered her to fix her wall that's falling,
okay.
so.
So you don't foresee a problem going to her and getting some kind of an agreement in place to permit you to have machinery or this was necessary to go on her property?
As far as I know, as of right now, I have a good term with her, I don't think so.
Okay.
So get everything done, get everything painted, get everything you gotta do on that side, done as quickly
I
as
promise
possible.
I will.
Cause that could change. So,
So is it anything here, the last issue I see from our engineers, the DEP approval is?
I think that's a permit by rule,
Permit by rule,
It's a certification that you have to.
the rubber stamp.
Okay.
Automatically get it.
okay, there you go. I've never heard of anything automatic at the DEP, but that's.
Pretty new.
I was gonna say, I've heard of the charge.
I think they don't charge.
No.
The issue is that they used to have the permit by rules and they had no idea who and when people did it. So now they made a permit by registration.
Yeah,
So basically you have to do something online and automatically it says, okay, you
Gotcha.
are a permit by rule. So no one reviews it.
So they're policing it well.
So,
I guess for me, I may have not, I wasn't in those earlier discussions, I guess, was I on the one, I'm not sure I was on the board then, so,
You were here.
okay. Why are the properties joined together? If you own both of them and just make it a little bit easier.
well, right, listen, financially, it's worth more as two separate properties. I mean, I wouldn't combine them if,
But
Nobody
if-
would.
If they are separate, in theory, you could have two completely different interests in the people who own those properties.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, you know, when you're doing things like adding 4 feet to the bedroom, I mean, why couldn't it be rehabbed in place under the existing footprint to deal with some of the issues regarding, you know, water absorption and things like that?
I mean, I looked at that, the 4 feet on the back is not even, you're not even gonna notice it. I mean, if you look there, it's pretty much below ground. I mean, it's not coming out any further than what's there. It's going back. I mean, that is the least impactful way to do anything to that property. You know what I'm saying? It's going in the hill, basically, behind, or directly behind the house. I mean, if you were down there, I mean, to me, it's a minimal ask, you know? I mean, after the last go around, yeah, this is beautiful. So, go ahead, Bill.
Just for clarity, how much, demolition are we anticipating? So we don't get ourselves into the corner, the house has to come down and then come back, you know, we're in good stead or
Yeah.
not. So I think originally you were planning on leaving the walls and leaving the basic structure, but I just wanted to
Yes,
clarify that.
and we still are.
Okay.
I mean, the roof will come off, of course, but, and the walls get a certain amount of extension because the purpose of the roof change is to get a decent amount of ceiling height on the upper level. But the walls will remain.
Okay.
Bill just doesn't want you to tear it down all the way.
Well, if there was a chance, we could potentially wrap our arms around it right now and then we don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
That's what I was kind of getting at.
Just do as little demolition as possible, you know,
Understood.
No.
Tight spot.
Yeah, it is what it is. So, okay, no further questions of the engineer or the applicant? Seeing none, I'll open it to the public. Does anybody from the public wish to comment on this application? Seeing none, I'll close it to the public, bring it back to the board for a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve it. Second.
Mr. Shirley,
Yes.
Mr. Diamond,
Yes.
Mr. Catterman,
Yeah.
Ms. Croft,
Yes.
Mr. Metzlowski,
Yes.
Mr. Rossi,
Yes.
Chairman Ray.
Yes.
Mr. Tappan.
Yes.
Good luck.
Thank you.
One down.
Moving next door.
Yeah.
To 54.
Yes.
Here,
Kids today, but where's that?
we're asking for two things. Looking at the big picture, we're looking to add a 2-car garage for the property. And, add some brick paved areas primarily on the way down to the
Same plan.
This again is a fairly narrow lot, not as narrow as the one we just dealt with. It's about 45 feet wide at its widest point, in a zone where 120 feet is required. Also exceptionally steep. So there's really no garage possible other than at the upper end of the site. So it's either there or no place. No place, of course, is an option. And that puts the garage, whether it's attached or detached or right up front or setback, it puts it in the front yard. So again, it's either in the front yard or it doesn't exist. So, and I've also noticed, of course, in traveling the neighborhood, that a lot of lots with similar circumstances have come up with the same solution of having a garage in their front yard, most often right at the street. Because of the narrowness of the property, it's almost impossible to set a side yard requirements with any kind of structure. And we have succeeded in not satisfying the side yard requirements. We comply with the accessory building height. We come very close to it at the low end of the building where it's about 17 feet or 18 is permitted. But most of the building, and certainly how it appears from the street, is as a 1-story. Again, we have a building and lot coverage issues due at least in part or mainly to the fact that the lot's about half the size of the requirements in the zone, which is twice as good as the last project, which was only a quarter of the size. And what we're asking, there's a long staircase down from the main house to the lake. It's a series of staircases and walls, retaining walls. And what we're looking to do is primarily in that area is to infill the areas behind the retaining walls with pavers that create areas where you can barbecue or entertain or sit. Some of it will also, of course, be planted. So between the garage and those brick paved areas, that's the essence of this application. The engineer's report made a point out of the fact that there are some apparent discrepancies in the aerial photography from a couple of years back to now. It is my understanding that what has been built was permitted and approved, and that what we're asking for is that there's nothing has been built without permits. So what you see there today, which is essentially the walkway and the stairs and the retaining walls, according to the information I've been able to get, is all has all been approved. So what in that area, what we're asking for primarily is the brick paved areas.
What is the setback from your neighbors or proposed setback? It looks like nothing. I mean, what?
It's about a foot, just enough for the roof
And
overhang.
how about to the front, to the neighbor's property on the front side?
Well, that's also it's the same lot, actually.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, just the way it was cut up.
Zero.
I mean, it looks like a lot. I don't know, the big house, the way, there's a lot. This is I don't know, in my opinion, this is a pretty big. You're only a foot off the property lines on the front and on the side yard.
So the front is actually closer to 2 feet, but
I'm not gonna argue over that.
it's not the side or at the rear of the garage is about.
And then how close is the proposed garage to the new dwelling?
Yeah, right. It is
He got his foot tractor.
about 13.
About 13. I don't know, it's just very tight to me. I mean, there's not.
It is tight. There's no question about that. It's tight to the property lines, which is one issue. It's tight to get cars in and out.
I mean, I might be a little bit more inclined to give it a look if the two properties were one, But that's just my,
Well, then we'd have a whole different set of variances.
I mean, there's a lot going on there already. I don't know what anybody else's opinion is on that, if you went over there and took a look at it. And you're asking to work with that, but we're taking a bad situation and making it really bad, really bad. Yeah.
Well, the only thing I can say in mitigation of that, it isn't really mitigation, but only the fact that the owner is going into this with his eyes open.
Yeah.
And he knows that it's gonna require K-turns to get in and out of that garage.
K-turn, you better buy a K truck.
Where do the cars park now?
At the street line. There's a flat area right up the street, which is gravel.
Not on the lot.
Yeah, on the lot.
See,
On the lot and on the adjacent lot.
I mean, maybe
Is it asphalt around?
Yeah, there is a.
I'm correct that there is asphalt at the.
People should do like a 1.5 or something.
I mean, that's, I mean, with the applicant, if you wanted, maybe make it a 1-car garage, I mean, I don't know, I'm not comfortable with putting it basically on the property line towards the street and towards the side yard, that's just my opinion.
But I see your point. That was what I was getting at in terms of merging things together.
Yeah, well, listen.
If you want the benefit of two separate properties, you've got to respect, I think, also
Yeah.
things like property lines.
So Chairman, how would you feel if it stayed in the same profile as the side of the house?
Well, the problem with that is he's not gonna be able to turn a car in there, you know what I'm saying, coming down and making that,
Bring that up.
to turn in
And
there,
as it is right now, you got about 20 feet behind.
yeah.
If you're really minimum, 30 feet is preferable.
Yeah.
For a car to make that, and I'm worried about the car once they're in.
It's less than.
Getting out of
Back
there, yeah.
out. Now you're backing out and
Yeah.
you've got a wall that you're gonna potentially drop off.
I mean, I think the house looks great, the pro, it looks great, I mean, this is, to me, it's just gonna look totally out of whack, really. I mean, I don't know how anybody else feels, that's just my opinion, I mean, we're talking about 1 foot off the property line, right, Bill? I mean, so this property below it owns this box up here towards the street, so.
One of the problems for the owner is that he would like to have a garage, and we did actually have an earlier plan which had the garage facing the street, much nearer the street, which solves some of the problems, but I think creates other problems.
I mean, I just think the garage is too big for the area. I mean, if you shrunk it down to a 1-car garage width-wise, I mean, it doesn't, right now, you have no setbacks, so you're not complying with anything, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm not sure unless we reposition things a lot.
Well, maybe something a little,
1-car
maybe
is
half the
different.
width of that, you know, I mean, listen, the garage, you need whatever, 22 or 24 depth at least, but if you shrunk it down to a 1-car garage, that's just my opinion. I don't know if anybody else has a thought on that. You know?
I'd like to see what the options would be.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, I mean, you look at it, it's slammed right against the property line. I mean, we're not, you know, if it's a pre-existing condition, then I'll go along with it, but none of this, you know, we're taking a bad situation and making it really bad. You know what I'm saying? If you give me 5 feet, whatever, we've done that a lot of times where 1 foot, I mean, you know, here you got the problem with the boathouse. How do you do the maintenance on the building if you only have a foot of space, you know?
Well, it makes sense.
I mean, I don't wanna take, that's the problem with the boathouse. That should have never been subdivided. So here, you want us to take a bad situation and make it worse, you know, and that's my.
Well, you have
opinion.
options. I mean, if you want to, you could adjourn and resubmit a revised plan. It sounds like the board may be amenable to some revised plan, maybe a smaller garage.
That's understood, but if I may poke a little further into the board's thinking, are you suggesting a 1-car garage in that general location?
I don't know where else you could put it.
Well,
I mean, unless you wanna
in
put it
that
up-
general location, it's gonna be just as deep, which is gonna create the same problem as far as getting in and out.
I mean, unless you wanna turn it and put it up towards the road. I don't know. I mean,
Well,
You're better off if you just drive straight.
pulling straight in from the
into the
street.
road.
Well, if you don't mind backing out into the street, that's an option.
Or back into the
Well,
garage.
there's a lot of garages on that street that have.
Yeah, it's common on that street. There's a
So
lot of-
maybe turn your garage, bring it up towards the street, put a 1-car up, and then leave this an open space down here, like a yard. Cause right now, there's not gonna be any, there's no yard at all. It's blacktop, garage,
Right.
house, there's no.
Yeah, I would love to try a different way, but could I continue working? Could they give me the?
Oh, I don't know.
I see what he did. He's gonna have less room if he puts it towards the roadway as opposed to towards the house. It's a narrow, according to what I'm looking at, the property lines here.
I mean, he's got 25 feet of frontage on the road. So if you go with like a 14-foot wide, you still have 9 feet. To put on, you know, so you have some room between the garage and the property lines on both sides, and, you know?
I know this is not
Oh,
normal.
well, there's a well.
Yeah, there's a well up there.
Yeah, we can respect that. The client's asking me if there's any way we can talk about getting approval for just the other portion of the application.
Yeah, what's the other portion? What's the other?
It's the brick paving and.
I mean, we can proceed with that. I mean, we can take that, we can take the garage out of it and we could grant them an approval or denial on the paver portion of it, right?
Yeah.
Oh. No. So you're looking to do the pavers around the house, all this?
Around the house and down towards the water.
Big stone.
What was the impervious coverage change?
Enough a little.
Lot coverage is about double what's allowed.
Or is the stone allowing water seepage?
We could do a pervious paver, I suppose.
I would do something because listen, you got, I mean, this whole piece of property is gonna be developed with no stormwater management on it at all.
It's completely covered.
Yeah.
Asphalt driveway.
Well, yeah, well, we were gonna have a detention under the driveway, but
I mean, you can see what we're saying. I mean,
I
this is a
totally
big,
get it.
this is a big ask.
pervious pavers would certainly be
Yeah.
a viable option.
I could definitely see that and.
I mean, we want the water to go. We don't want it to just sheet off your property and, you know, we gotta slow it down a little bit. I mean, what do you think about that, Dennis? I mean, that's,
Yeah, no,
you know,
great comment.
so maybe, I mean, we could, you know, if we need something, maybe you're gonna have to revise your material or something to make it where it's pervious or,
Yeah, I've done that a number of jobs, so I know the product.
so maybe get something where Dennis can review and say, okay, he's happy with it.
I'll get it for tomorrow.
You'll do it tomorrow? All right. So, well, how should we proceed with this? Should we table this for the next available meeting where we get him what he needs, make him happy
That
and,
would be the cleaner way to do
Yeah.
it, and maybe during that same time, you wanna
Yeah,
make a revised proposal.
So we're
for
gonna,
the
bifurcate this
garage.
thing, yeah.
I think that's probably the better way. to-
Keep them separate.
Well,
Or no.
well, no, I mean, I think we're.
well, you
talking
come
about
back with a,
Proposing that, even if it's, you know, the next available meeting, a couple months, I don't know, next month, is there a meeting yet? No,
I only have one meeting next month and it's booked. It would be July 7th.
July seventh, and you can work with the engineer
Mhm.
to figure out a material to be used, for the pervious pavers that you're proposing, and, you guys can work out.
yeah, okay.
But I'm saying at the same time, maybe you can propose, a modification
No,
to
turn it to
the
the
garage.
That's, it's a
It
hill.
would be cleaner to just to put it together like that.
So maybe you can rework this garage, and maybe when you come back, we could take care of everything.
Right, one shot.
Yeah, we have.
They have this.
This is
We're only gonna do two of these. These are gonna be.
I hear you, it really doesn't pay as good.
Oh, no, I'm looking at it.
Okay, Chris, what do you wanna do here?
So I, like, just on the point of the garage, I mean, it's a nice design and everything, but I go back to if you treat you not as one person owning two properties, but two separate properties, where does the person in 52 park?
In that little spot up there, that
In that
block,
little
on the
area on the
top
road.
corner, that's their 20 feet.
They're 20 feet there.
If you look at this survey, James?
Yeah.
On the top, well, the street side, that little square there, that belongs to the boathouse. So that, the actual 50-foot frontage of the original lot was cut in half.
Right.
To provide the boathouse, the parking area.
That little strip. Right.
So it has a 5-foot walkway down to the boathouse, the 5-foot walk, and then you have a 20 by
But
25
I'm
park.
just saying, is it conceivable to have this two-car garage as defined if the properties were combined? Is that one option?
It's an option, but that, I mean, he's clearly stated that he's not interested in.
Okay, but I mean, of all the options, that is one to consider, right?
How does that help?
Well, it makes it one property. So then,
But there's two separate
Then-
dwellings on there, so.
yeah, so then you have the whole frontage.
There's all kinds of.
And right now, he only has half the
Okay.
frontage.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? This is his, this is both, and they're both, which, you know, to both, but I mean, he doesn't have to. So, all right, Chris, you wanna ask to carry this?
I think that's it's up to the applicant, of course.
Yeah, without
If you wanna just carry it until the July meeting and make a proposal with respect to the pervious pavers and perhaps with respect to reconfiguring the garage and how it might be more palatable for the board to accept. At this point, they're unwilling, of course, to, it appears, and we can subject it to a vote if you'd like, and that would be up to you, but it seems like the better way to approach it should be to work with the engineer and figure out what type of material could be that you can use for the pervious paver, and then perhaps come up with a different plan for garage, maybe reducing the size of the garage.
It's your call. It's your call.
They have to know right now. We,
That's the end right now whether we want to carry it or not.
oh, yeah, carry on, yeah.
Carry it and carry on.
Carry on.
Carry on my wayward son.
In other words, they wouldn't vote tonight, because they could vote tonight and they could reject the application outright.
I respect it, that's fine. The problem is, can I continue working with my pavers and my?
No, not at this point, because there's a concern with the amount of coverage that you have on the lot and the runoff. And because of that, they're proposing perhaps a driveway made up of pervious pavers, so the water can go through the pavers and maybe that'll help alleviate some of the water issues.
Okay, but how did they do it before? Because before it was all concrete. I mean, I ripped out the concrete and I'm putting pavers.
It doesn't really matter what they did before. I mean, before that, you know,
And I
people did
figured that it was all concrete before.
people did all kinds of crazy things. in the past.
Concrete at the driveway or?
Whatever.
We're talking.
The walkway down to the water.
Walkway too,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, this is the whole.
I have pictures.
Backyard with the grass.
No, it was not grass.
That's what the.
We have aerials. of it.
All right, listen, I would suggest let's just carry it till the
Yeah, I think.
first available day without, yeah. All right.
July
7th.
17th.
Okay, at this time, anybody here for this application, to comment on this application, this hearing will be carried until July 7th, in case anybody's here, without further notice. Okay? Good with that? Do we need a motion?
We need a motion for that.
Yes.
Make a motion for it.
We have a motion? Okay,
Mr. Sherla?
Yes.
Mr. Diamond?
Yes.
Mr. Kevin?
Yes.
Ms. Cox? Yes. Mr. Mathelouski?
Yes.
Mr. Rossi?
Yes.
Chairman Ray?
yes.
Mr. Tappan?
Yes.
Okay, see you in July.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you very much.
Okay, next application is Frank Rodriguez, 22 Mass Road.
Good night, guys.
See you later. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a little crazy. That was like.
I realized he was doing the whole thing. Jesus.
Why don't we put the house?
Huh?
Make some grass.
Yeah,
Okay, is Mr. Rodriguez here?
Yes, sir.
Step right up. Bill, the attorney will swear you in.
That's what that says. It's a right hand.
Another right.
You swear the testimony about the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so that. And your name, please.
Frank Rodriguez.
And, Mr. Rodriguez, you property owner?
Yes.
Your position with the project is attorney, contract.
I'm sorry,
Good.
what was your name? Alfred? Can you spell it? I'm horrible. I know.
Are you getting that? 'Cause I'm
Yeah.
not.
It's close enough.
I got it.
Well,
Sorry.
Okay, sir, what would you, we good, Bill?
We're good.
All right, what would you like to do?
Ideally, we would like to replace the front steps, which are straight with an L shape. Staircase.
You just couldn't hear.
Okay, go ahead. The people
I'd
outside.
like to replace a straight step with an L shaped steps.
Okay, the L-shaped portion of it's gonna go to the driveway.
Correct,
Okay.
facing towards the driveway.
This is it.
That's what.
No
that's what,
I visited the site, it accurately represents.
No brainer.
This is just the front yard setback.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, okay, it makes your driveway more accessible. I don't know, Bill, did you have any question or any
No.
hang up on it? Okay, okay. So you're here on a technicality. So, all right, any
Hopefully it
questions?
was entertaining.
Yeah, sorry you had to sit all.
We didn't even charge them. You got.
Okay, there are no questions of the applicant? We're good, Mark. Okay, seeing none, I'll open it to the public. Does anybody from the public wish to comment on this application? Seeing none, I'll close it to the public. Bring it back to the board for a motion.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Mr. Sherla?
Yes.
Mr. Diamond?
Yes.
Mr. Kenick?
Yes.
Ms. Crock? Yes. Mr. Mathelouski?
Yes.
Mr. Rossi?
Yes.
Chairman Ray?
Yes.
Mr. Tappan?
Yes.
All right, you're good to go.
Thank you so much. Yes.
That was it. No discussion, nothing? What were you asking for, a waiver of memorialization? Is that what you were asking for?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good call.
All right, we have a motion, okay, motion?
Second,
Mr. Sherlock,
yes.
Mr. Diamond,
Yes.
Mr. Kevin.
Yes.
Ms. Croft. Yeah. Mr. Magluski.
Yes.
Mr. Rossi.
Yes.
Chairman Wright.
Yes.
Mr. Tappan.
Yes.
All right, now you're good.
You got it.
Thank you all.
Have a good night, thank you.
Good night.
Okay, at this time in the meeting, we don't have anything in the work session, right? No, okay. At this time, I'll open the meeting to the public. Does anybody from the public wish to comment? Lane, nothing? Okay, I'll close it to the public, bring it back to the board and wait for a motion from Judy.
Motion to adjourn.
All right, very good. Thank you.
Second.
Well, as soon as she says motion, it's get off.